Good evening, all Dharma Masters and all Lotus friends. Namo Amitabha. Last weekend, we learned from Master Zongdao. If you remember, particularly on how we do not have to seek to cultivate faith by our own power. Tonight, we will also hear from this teacher with a different title called Chanting Buddha's Name and Changing Your Fate. You may be familiar with this, and it will be good for us to revisit. I think we may find some parallels in that there is a central focus here on a theme of how we rely on the Buddha, except this will brush more on whether or not we should be seeking out blessings in this life. Now we'll begin to speak with Master Zongdao's words, and we start with a question, which is, I have been chanting the Buddha's name for so long. Why hasn't my fortune changed? Why am I still so hapless? Those who believe in cause and effect should know that fortune is not accidental. It is not possible to change one's luck fortuitously. After reciting the Buddha name 3 times, one expects Amitabha Buddha to act like the gods of other faiths, to free them from bad luck and shower them with blessings. There is no such thing. A person's destiny depends on the cause and effects created in his previous lives. Causality is pivotal to the human mind. When a thought arises, the cause is planted and eventually leads to its consequence, like a seed with proper conditions leading to a fruit-bearing tree. As we are enduring the effects of past causes, their consequences create new karmic causes which will guide the fate of our future. Whether it be a life of good fortune and a worthy endeavor, or a life full of misfortune and transgressions, poverty and famine and illness, the magnitude and the timing of each turn vary according to the strength of the karmic force and the causal mind. So stronger thoughts and deeds result in stronger causes and consequences, but they have been planted in previous lives. And few people today possess the kind of power great enough or influence to alter their predetermined fate. Besides, nowadays, people are generally weak in mental strength, scattered and dazed, uncertain of their destiny, like aquatic plants floating on water. Therefore, the general framework and tone of life for the vast majority of people will not change much. It only fluctuates within their predetermined range of pain and pleasure. After all, the 6 characters are the source of all blessings. Thus, although people who recite the Buddha's name aim to be reborn in the Pure Land do not seek worldly blessings, they are naturally blessed with worldly fortune. The more one wants to be emancipated from the samsara, the more worldly blessings one will attain, because the revulsion of the Saha world and aspiration to be born in the land of ultimate bliss match the Buddha's heart, which produces an immediate result. This is the only effective way to change the fate of all sentient beings. After understanding the above principles, even though you recite the Buddha's name without realizing the change of fate, you can examine your own mind. First, firmly believe that the cycle of cause and effect is the iron law of the entire universe. It is our fate determined by our past actions. Since we believe in cause and effect, we should be at ease and accept the retribution and not expect too much fortune like that of ordinary people. And second, should we recite the Buddha's name for worldly blessings or for rebirth in the land of ultimate bliss? Worldly blessing is not as good as rebirth in the land of ultimate bliss. Reciting the Buddha's name for worldly blessings is like giving up tens of billions of dollars for only a lollipop. Isn't that a loss? And third, hasn't the time we've recited the Buddha's name been too short? Are you performing your daily recitation earnestly or just coping? You should know that a river forms because of the accumulation of water. Merits are made because of good deeds. Without merit and virtue, fate cannot change. In addition, whether your fate has altered cannot be determined by intuitive feelings. After all, feelings are just emotions, not real or permanent. So taking a step back, even if from an objective point of view, it is true that your situation is indeed getting worse, who is to deny categorically that had it not been for reciting the Buddha, your situation would have not gotten even worse? Moreover, whether the fate of life has changed or not, will it even change? You don't need to ask people. You can see it for yourself. As the saying goes, character is destiny, which is quite true. The mode of one's mind develops into habit, and the accumulation of habit becomes the character. Whatever kind of character you have, you will naturally have that kind of destiny. In addition to changing our future reincarnation, reciting Buddha's name can also change our lives in the present. This real-life change is a change to one's character. Just like pruning a plant, changing one's current behavior is only a temporary measure, not a long-term method. Only by changing the genes can the essential changes occur. After chanting the Buddha's name for a long time, the 3 karmic offenses, which are body, speech, and mind, will be self-diminished. Everything trends towards the middle way. The impetuous become quiet. The acerbic become kind. The selfish become generous. And distracting thoughts become mellowed. And the mind becomes cleared. Vulgar becomes elegant. And shallow becomes deep. All of these happen unconsciously and imperceptibly, exerting a subtle influence on one's character or thinking, like a child growing up to be an adult without feeling it. When the genes of life change, fate must change. You can observe whether there is a change in your character before and after reciting the Buddha's name. If there is, and yet your fate remains the same, I will not believe it.